Dwarakanath, you want to take up on that? Really, there is nothing that can train you for industrial relations. You need to be on the job. You need to learn on the spot. And, you know.
I think it's not only, I agree partly what Mr. Panier said. I think you don't require degrees or MBAs or to be trained in a particular institutes to learn the skills. But I think it's important that it applies equally to HR. I mean, a line manager can be a great HR manager. So I think, it's not the point. I think firstly, let me compliment business today for very boldly taking up the employee relations. And thanks for inviting me, though I was not in the original. Because I think it's important. It is not just, we are not talking about HR guys here. We are talking for any business manager. If you want to really to grow, apart from understanding his domain skills, how do you engage with people? How do you connect with people? How do you motivate with people? How do you address their conflict resolutions? How do you handle their grievances? How do you counsel them, coach them? These are all part of the game. So I think, what it teaches, I said, I spent 42 years. I think the first Garavo took place in a company where I worked. And I understand from this, it doesn't mean that, you need to, employee relations are those who like it because they've gone through the plants or sales. I agree with Shramik. I think if you wanted a rounded ability as a manager, I'm not just saying HR manager, as a manager you need to do different facets. Unless you connect with the field force or you don't connect with the factory workmen, you will not be able to lay down the policies. When we hire guys for GSK or for Max from the campuses, ask any HR guy, he said, where do you want to do? I want to do talent management. I want to leadership development. And nobody is interested to go to employee relations. I'm glad that Shramik is saying, I'm out of touch in last 3-4 years, that people are showing interest. It's important, I think I want to give this message very clearly. If you want to get a rounded experience, you want to take a leadership role, it's very important that you need to get engaged with employee relations. But I think, the mistake most of HR directors and others do is, they don't, because most of them lack that experience or the appreciation or perspective, they don't tell them what curriculums do. It's a different matter. It's also requires correction. But what is important as an experience, as a line, as a HR head or a functional head, you don't tell them what employee relations means. Employee relations doesn't mean labor laws alone. Employee relations doesn't mean blue collar workers grievances. It is not only labor and union management. I think I learned all my employee relations, which I stopped doing it about 10 or 15 years back. But whatever they taught me to do OD or learning and development or talent management, acquired the skills from that. It's a fascinating experiences when you are a plant HR manager running about 20,000 people, farmers and so on, the society. You gain a lot of leadership and administrative skills. But I think, we miss the point because we think people are afraid. And secondly, the point we are making, I just want to make one suggestion there. It is not that employee relations have become bad in the last few years. It is never so bad what it was in 70s. But I think this media and other technology which is making people to aware incidents. Many incidents happen at that time. Much more incidents have happened at that time. But I think at least I'm glad that medias have brought this attention. Now people have become, oh, this has happened in this. But here I just want to add one aspect. I think, Ms. Pani is coming from the NTPC, public sector manufacturing. My message to youngsters is, don't confine employee relations only to manufacturing sector. I think, you have not seen the other side of the coin. I am only concerned and worried if the managers, whether HR or a line manager or a technical manager, if it is not equipped how to handle with people, the problems you face from the workforce, which are more educated, cultured, white-collar workmen. You see sometimes in banks, sometimes airlines only strike. But service industry, BPO, call centers, all this can create huge damage to Indian GDP and growth and also labor relations. We don't know how to handle. When junior doctors went on strike, people didn't know how to handle it. So my message is, you should take it as a part of the holistic approach to the management. It is imperative for any business manager or a HR manager to appreciate and understand the principles of employee relations.